Could you not love that? Woo. Are you a 20-year-old kid with an itch that can't be scratched? Are you a 50-year-old fresh divorcee? Are you looking to go fast for cheap? Let me show you why the answer is the C6 Corvette. Guys mobbing. One of the reasons why the C6 Corvette is one of the best cars that can be had for the money is because of what's under the hood right here. 400 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. That comes in a V8 right to the rear wheels. Now this car is both very simple in that it's just a V8 and then it's just a rear wheel drive car, but it's also kind of complicated. It comes with a torque tube and a rear trans axle, which helps the car maintain a 50-50 weight balance and makes it very fun for driving. But working on it, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, could be kind of tough for you. One of my favorite parts about the C6 Corvette is just the way this car is shaped and everything. It's like a aerodynamic. I don't even know how you describe the shape of this thing, honestly. But I love the rear, super cool. It's got the Corvette, so you can let everyone know who doesn't know what this is. Is that a Ferrari? Is it a... No, I'm just playing. It's a Corvette. I love the quad center exit exhaust. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Gotta have your chrome. These are the stock wheels. Comes equipped with, you know, the chrome wheels. Super clean. I think the chrome looks really good on the Corvettes. Let me know what color wheels you prefer, whether that be black, bronze, chrome. Put it in the comments. Which one do you think looks best on the Corvette? If you need help convincing your mom to let you get the Corvette, but she says, "Oh son, it's a two-seater, you can't fit anything in it." Look at how much space this has back here. This one has the cargo cover. Yeah, this has more space than some SUVs, honestly. So there's enough room that the roof can actually go back here. And that's one thing that you don't get with the Z06. And you know, that was kind of the main factor for me of why I did not choose the Z06 over the, you know, base model. Just to show you how much space there is back here. Could go car camping in this thing. Who needs the whole overland thing? Oh, that's comfy. All right, so we are in the interior of the C6 Corvette. Super basic, but there's a couple cool things I want to point out. Again, you got the Corvette branding right here, just to let your passenger know they are in the Corvette. You have your traction button right here. This comes with a push start that is right here, and you got your dash right here, which goes up to 200. You got these beautiful door sills that look really cool, and here is where you can actually remove the hardtop and actually take this whole thing off and put it in the back. Now, I don't know about you, but I love a good convertible. This kind of is the best of both worlds. You don't get all the wind noise that you do with the rag top. And that has been something that's going on many Corvette generations. I know the C8s also can do it, which is pretty cool. It's super cool that they've kept that feature around. I remember when I bought the car, I didn't even know that this roof came off. And then maybe about a week into owning it, someone was like, "Have you taken the top off yet?" And I was like, "What the heck?" And yeah, it's awesome. Let me actually show you guys how to do that. So you'll unclick these. There's one more right here. And yeah, I'm holding the roof. It's actually super light. But be careful with this thing. It's kind of awkwardly shaped, so it's pretty easy to drop it. Ask me how I know. I'm gonna put this back for now. Make sure the rear holes are going in first. Click this in, click this in, click this in. It's very important that you make sure these are all clicked in. There's a thing in the Corvette world called flying roof syndrome, and that is where this just flies off, and it's an expensive piece to find, especially if you have it matched, paint matched. One other thing the Corvette does offer is heads-up display, which is a super awesome feature. Shows you your G-force, your miles per hour, and you can set it to oil temp, coolant temp. You can change what you see, so you actually do get a lot of data that comes from it, and it's pretty cool seeing how much your car can handle, how many G-forces your car can handle. All right, let's get to the part that we're all really here for, and let's drive the C6 Corvette. I know what you guys are gonna say. Why does it have an automatic? When I got the car, I had a manual truck, and I was like, dude, I can't have two manual vehicles. That would just be annoying. And the previous car I had was a Mercedes-Benz C450 AMG. And that thing was automatic, and you know, it kind of got me used to the automatic, but maybe the next one will be manual. It is super nice for roll racing though, on the highway. You know, there's been a lot of times where I've been with someone who's in a manual car. This thing just shifts super fast, and it's on to the next gear already. So, you know, give and takes, give and take. So we are in the C6 Corvette. We are in the Bald Peak area. Super, super beautiful area. If you've ever been here before, all right. If you've ever had a yellow car, there's a ton of bugs that are always around because, I don't know. I think it thinks the car is a flower, so yeah. All right, going on here. We'll put it on the competitive mode for us today. All right, little first gear from 0 pull right here. Woo. So yeah, this thing can pull for sure, for sure. Thing about the C6 Corvette that you will have to learn is your throttle control, especially if you're going around these corners, tail of the dragon, stuff like that, stuff like what we have here out in Oregon. We got these windy roads, so you're gonna have to get really good with your throttle control, because around a corner, if you don't have your ABS on or anything like that, you know, you will swing out, so you just have to learn how to control that. One thing I love about these two-seaters is that you sit so far back in the car, you don't have much room behind you. So sometimes I know in my Mercedes I had to think about, oh, you know, a lot of room behind me. In these things, not so much. If you've ever driven an S2000 or Miata, those both feel like this car, but just in a smaller version, if that makes sense. So those cars are super small, but they handle super well. This car, it's a little bit wider, probably a little bit longer as well. Still handles really well. Not as good as, you know, that segment of cars, but if you've ever had an S2000 or Miata, you know that those things handle super well. This is kind of a similar formula, you know, two-seater rear wheel drive, not much space behind you. This one has more power than both those two, but to make up for that, this is definitely for sure a little bit bigger than both those two options. But it's a similar formula, you know, meant for going around tight corners. Woo! Yeah, this thing is awesome. I've had this personally for almost coming up on a year. I've put about 10,000 miles on it. Hasn't given me any issues. All I do is give it my normal oil changes, stuff like that, and it's been great to me. It's been great to me, and I don't beat it, but I do drive my cars like pretty hard. I would say more than the average person, but that doesn't mean I'm like always redlining, you know. I remember one time I took it to a drift event, and that puts a ton of strain on your cars. What other car can you buy for 20,000? I've seen these things like 15, you know, if you want to put some work into it, like 12. I've seen some pretty crazy listings for these for pretty cheap. But what other car can you get under, you know, 3,500 pounds, just got a V8 in it, and, you know, is as good of a car as you get this. I got the heads-up display right here, and it's super awesome. Shows me my G-force, my oil temp. Woo. So this is a 2007 model. Look at your 2007 Ford Mustang GT. Would I pick that over this? I'm not sure. BMWs too, but BMWs are super awesome. I love the way they drive, but if you're looking at the $20,000 and under, you know, you're getting a pretty high mileage BMW, and that's one thing that the Corvette is really good at. They have their issues, like the harmonic balancer. I know the LS3s and the LS7s have their issues as well, but you know, it's nothing like a high mileage like 335, you know. One other reason you're gonna like this thing is this is a super old school setup, you know, just a straight V8. And you know, one day, maybe in a couple years, you know, it's gonna be very hard to find a V8. There's only a couple going hybrid electric now. So one day these are going to be pretty hard to find. I'm not saying like this is my one of one, built in 2007 in the month of April at the Corvette factory with the heads-up display. No. But one day these V8s are going to be pretty hard to come by. Let me know if you have another $20,000 car that you think would go hand in hand with the C6 Corvette. Put it in the comments. I'd like to know. Woo! How could you not love that? That's America right there. Gives the C6 Corvette the most attention? Let me tell you, it is guys in their 30 to 40s sitting in their SUV or minivan with their family watching the Corvette drive by. If that is you, $20,000, you know, that's like the price of a used Camry or something. This can be yours. Can be had super cheap, 10, 15, 20K depending on condition. Mine has, I got it when it had 55K, so I paid a little bit on the higher end for it, of that range I just gave you. But you know, if you just want something to go fast, you can get something that's like 10, 15K. You don't need something that's grandpa spec like this. It is kind of nice to have grandpa spec though, I'm not gonna lie. One more pull for you.